Now I will explain you about Net Profit Retail's GST reports module. This is GST reports module. Here in GST reports module, you will get the reports in three different types: GST R1, GST R2, GST R3B. Settings. In settings, if you want to change the download path folder, then you can make changes here and you can click on save settings to save the changes made by you. Now I will explain you GST R1 report. Here in GST R1 report, you will get all the sale related detailed report. By default, it will give the current month's report. If you want to see other months or years report, you can particularly go for the date and change the date by month or year. And once after selecting the date, when you click on refresh, you will get the report of that month which you have selected. Here you will get GST number of your shop. Here you will get 6 types of GST R1 main particulars. I will explain you one by one. B2B invoice. B2B invoice, if you have made a sale for the registered person, then those all reports and transactions will be shown in B2B invoice, where you can see the voucher count, taxable amount, IGST, CGST, SGST, cess amount, tax and invoice amount. If you want to see detailed report of that B2B invoice, then you need to click on this. You will get detailed report of that B2B invoice where you can see the GST number, invoice, date, value, rate, taxable value, IGST and other taxes also and the supply state also. This is how you can see the detailed report of B2B invoice. Next is B2C large. In B2C large, if you have made a sale to the unregistered person more than 2.5 lakhs and he belongs to different state also, then those all transactions will be shown in B2C large, where you can see the details of that B2C and you can also see the detailed report of B2C large by clicking on B2C large invoice. You will get the detailed report of B2C large. Next is B2C small. B2C small. In B2C small, if you have made a sale to the unregistered persons and all the sales which you have made in B2C large, except those sales and remaining other sales will be shown in B2C small, where you can see the transaction details here. If you want to see detailed report of B2C small, then you click on B2C small here. You will get the detailed report of B2C small. Next is credit debit note registered. If you have issued any credit debit note to the registered customer, then those transactions will be shown in credit debit note registered. You can see the transaction details here, and if you want to see the detailed report, then you can click on it. You will get the detailed report of that, where you can see the GST number, party name, invoice number, invoice date, invoice value, taxable value, credit note number, and credit date also. Next is credit debit note unregistered. If you have issued any credit debit note to the unregistered person, then those transactions will be shown in credit debit note unregistered here. You can see the transaction here, and if you want to see the detailed report of it, then you can click on it. You will get the detailed report of that credit debit note unregistered. Next is summary for nil rated exempted non-GST outward supply. If you have sold any item which has nil rated, exempted or non-GST, then those items will be shown in this summary nil rated exempted GST report, where you can see the report of that, and for detailed report you can click on it. You will get the detailed report of that. Next is HSN wise summary. In HSN wise summary, if you have any item sold with HSN number, then those items will be shown in HSN wise summary, where you can see the detailed report of HSN wise summary by clicking on it, where you can see the HSN number, description, total quantity, total value, taxable value, and other related taxes. Next is sales return. If the customer has returned any sale, then those returns report will be shown in sale return here, where you can see the registered and unregistered persons also. Here is the registered person and this is the non-registered person. You can see the party name, invoice number, invoice date, credit note number, credit note date also. This is how where you can get the GST-R1 sales related report. If you want to download this report into the Excel, you can click on download Excel button here and this report will be downloaded in Excel and you will get a pop-up message successfully generated and you can see the downloaded path also here. If you want to generate JSON file, then you need to first download the Excel into your system. Then you can click on generate JSON file here. You will get a pop-up where you can go to the folder and select that downloaded Excel file. And when you open it, you will get a pop-up message generated JSON file successfully. This is how you can generate JSON also. Now I will explain you next GST report, that is GST R2. Here in GST R2, you will get all the purchase report details. Here also, you will get the current month's detailed report. If you want to change or see the reports of other date, month or year, then you can particularly change the month, date and year and you can see the reports. Here also you will get the your shop's GST number here. Here you will get GST R2's main four particulars. I will explain you these all one by one. Now I will explain you about B2C invoice. B2C invoice. If you have purchased any items from the supplier who has registered his GST number, then those reports transactions will be shown in B2B invoice here, where you can see the voucher count, taxable amount, tax amount, and total ITC available. To see the detailed report of B2B invoice, you should click on this. You will get the detailed report of B2B invoice where you can see the GST number, invoice date, total value, rate, taxable value, IGST, CGST, SGST and supply state also. Next is inward supply on which tax is to be paid on reverse charge. In this, if you have purchased any item from the supplier who is unregistered, then those transactions will be shown in this row. And for detailed report, you can click on it and you can see the detailed report of that, where you can see the name, invoice number, invoice date, supply state also. Next is nil rated, exempted and non-GST invoice. Here you can see the nil rated, exempted and non-GST invoices also. Where if you have purchased any nil rated, exempted or non-GST items, then you can see those transactions here. Where to see the detailed report of it, you can click on it and you will get the detailed report of that nil rated, exempted and non-GST items. Next is HSN SSC summary. Here in HSN SSC summary, if you have purchased any item which has HSN number or SSC number, those items will be shown in this row where you can see the detailed report by clicking on it and you will get the detailed report of that particular. Here also, if you want to download Excel of this report, then you can click on download Excel here. Then that report will be downloaded in Excel file where you will get the pop-up message also. If you want to generate JSON, then you need to first download the Excel. Then you can click on generate JSON here and it will take you to the system where the downloaded Excel file is. Then you can select that file and when you open it, then it will be generated JSON file and you will get that pop-up also that successfully generated. This is how you can see the GST R2 report where it includes the all purchase related detailed report. Next is GSTR 3B. Here in GSTR 3B, you will get four main sections. First is detail of outward supplies and inward supplies liable to reverse charge. Second, detail of intrastate supplies made to unregistered person, composition dealers and UIN holders. Third is details of eligible input tax credit. Fourth is details of exempted, nil rated and non-GST inward supply. Now I will explain you one by one. By default, here you will get the current month's detail. If you want to see other month or year particular details, then you can go to the date wise and you can make the changes and when you click on refresh, the date which you want, you will get that report. Here you can see the GST number of your store. First, I will explain you detail of outward supplies and inward supplies liable to reverse charge. Here you can see the transaction of unregistered person with sale and purchase. In that, outward taxable supplies other than zero rated, nil rated and exempted transaction you can see here, where you can see the total taxable value, IGST, CGST, SGST and cess amount also. Next is outward taxable supplies zero rated reports and transactions can also you can see here. Third is other outward supplies nil rated and exempted reports or can also be seen here. Next is inward supplies liable to reverse charge. If you have purchased any items from unregistered person, then those transactions will be shown in this row. Non-GST outward supplies. Non-GST outward supplies, it means if any item has a GST and other GST also which are applicable for that item, then those items will be shown in non-GST outward supplies. Next is details of interstate supplies made to unregistered person, composition dealer and UIN holders. Here you can see the three transaction columns where you can see the supplies made to unregistered persons, supplies made to composition taxable players, and supplies made to UIN holders. You will get the details of these three transactions here. Third is details of eligible input tax credit. Here you can see the how much ITC value you can claim, where you can see the import of goods, import of services, inward supplies liable to reverse charge other than 1 and 2 above, inward supplies from IST, all other ITC, ineligible ITC as per section others. You can see the all the details here for the claim of ITC. Fourth is detail of exempted, nil rated and non-GST inward supply. Here you can see the exempted, nil rated and other details of interstate supplies and intrastate supplies. You can see the non-GST supply and total also of it. Here also you can download this Excel into your system and you can make any changes for these reports. To download Excel, you can click on download Excel here and that file will be downloaded into your system. And if you want to generate JSON, first you need to download the Excel file here, as I have shown in GST R1. This is how GST reports work, where you can get the GST reports in our application.